Yeah, just really bad dream. Actually, more like a memory. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm good. You wouldn't even know who I was talking about if I did tell you. So let me just go back to sleep. Well, hi guys. Sorry about that weird intro, but this is the first episode of my new series and my first upload onto this channel on YouTube. So I figured, why not go big or go home? And rather unfortunately for all of you guys, I am already home. Okay, so before we start, I kind of owe you an explanation on what this series is going to be like, because it's been a few months since I've actually talked about wanting to do this. So I was a pretty weird kid, and before I realized that I was pansexual, my taste in men was weird, to put it gently. Just as weird as me. Give me your men of weird face, and they would have a new follower because it was me. It was little me. Little me was obsessed with the weird men. And this pattern totally didn't repeat to adulthood, and Hector from Date Everything, my little H-pack, please mute the video that wasn't about you. Retaining from my little scale moment. As I've gotten older, I've realized how funny my taste in men used to be. And I figured, why not make fun of myself for military games? I'll deserve a good laugh too. And there was no better to start the series with than my first actual fictional crush, which was Jake Long, the American Dragon. The American Dragon Jake Long was a 2005 Disney Channel original show that lasted for 2 seasons. Season 1 received a total of 21 episodes, while Season 2 got a total of 31. And though Disney gave Season 2 a little more favoritism, the art style drastically changed between seasons, and the change was not a good drastic change. Though I have to say, better than AI. We must always respect the efforts of actual artists over AI slop.
The women we will always treat with respect.
And dear God, was this show stacked when it came to the voice cast. So Dante Bosco, our King Zuko, played Jake. Mae Whitman was actually his love interest in the show. Her name is Rose. And then John DiMaggio, who plays Jake the dog. And Finn the human. Sorry. Had to throw that in. Everybody calls me Finn the human. But John DiMaggio even joins in as the animal sidekick in this one, which is funny that this pattern, he continued that pattern later on in life. And another squirrel moment, and this is genuinely probably not interesting to anybody who is outside of the Disney adult circle. But if you've watched the sequels, the grandpa in this show is actually the voice actor for Lord Quinn, something along those lines from Mulan 2. And I just had to bring that up because Mulan 2 was actually my favorite of the sequels. So, or one of my favorites. Kronk's New Group will always hold that title. So now that you know a little background about the behind the scenes of everything, let me give you the kind of little cliff notes of the show, just in case you haven't seen it or it's been years since you've seen it. So this is the typical chosen kid gets special powers, is selected for greatness type of show. Jake is the chosen one. He is the American Dragon, which is the sworn protector of all mythical creatures that just so happen to be in his hometown, which is Manhattan. He is 13 years old when the show starts. He's about 14, I think, when it ends. And almost everyone on his mom's side inherits the dragon gene, except for his mom herself. Because let's be so fucking real, what mom would let her teenage son run around protecting New York? None. No moms. So it's Jake's goal essentially to protect the mythical creatures in New York from the huntsman. So he's like the big baddie of the series, and he's obsessed with killing mythical creatures as per usual, because why else would Jake be protecting mythical creatures? And you know, what good would any evil guy be without a pack of goons and a mysterious sidekick for the main character to fall in love with? No good. And spoilers, that sidekick is Rose. So shout out to Mae Whitman. She gets an evil role and she totally deserves it. She sounds so good at the whole faking. Like Rose does so good at the whole faking, you know, being interested in him. And yeah, shout out to Mae. Mae is amazing in this show, even though I loathed her as a kid. So with that general plot synopsis out of the way, let me tell you about Little Finn. Fresh out of the gates of kindergarten in 2005. Now, I don't remember most of these days. Trauma. Thank you. Thank you so much for blocking out everything. But yeah, I don't remember most of these days. But what I do remember was that I was obsessed with Jake. In fact, I have like vivid memories of being in my grandparents' front yard and pretending that Jake was my boyfriend and that we would kiss. And like typical normal girl stuff, right? Right. And then that fucker cheated on me in my mind. Because in the season finale, he finally gets to kiss Rose. And while probably everybody else was celebrating and cheering, being like, he gets the girl, I was mourning, sobbing over the loss of my beloved boyfriend, my biggest op, because I loathed Rose. I did not like the fact that she got to go around being like, I love Jake, but I'm gonna kill Jake. And I'm gonna say that with like a grain of salt because I was probably over it and had forgotten about Jake Long roughly within a month of the premiere, or not the premiere, the finale episode. So who can blame me though? Who can blame me? I feel like fictional crushes at that age are just, they come and go like summer romances, and I was kind of easily distracted by the real life guys in my life. But I'm gonna go back on that point. The whole fictional crushes go so quickly and just say, PHM Maxinoff, that's not about you. I'm specifically talking to Aaron Taylor Johnson's version. Please come home, we miss you, me and the kids. Much like Bing Bong fading out of Riley's imagination, Jake fizzled out of mine, never crossing my thoughts as much as a kid. Until eventually he did. He recurred very hard in my memories, and all generations, like 13 plus of Finn, came to one conclusion: cringe and drink to forget. In fact, I had like basically barred myself from watching the show up until this year. I couldn't face the idea of like rewatching it and willingly just having in my mind just my brain going, hey kid, remember when you liked Jake Long when you were 4 years old and you would pretend to kiss? No, like, no. Let's be so fucking for real, mind. I don't need gentle reminders of me being the cringiest kid on earth. But, you know, time is funny. And during my rewatch of Lilo and Stitch, an old partner came back to greet me during the crossover video. the crossover episode.
It'll be fine. I mean, I've been through worse. Look at me. I'm a picture of health. Ignoring your trauma doesn't make you healthy. Sure it does.
Now, I will say right now, as a disclaimer, I only watched episode 1 of the entire series because I'm still in that mindset that I can't get any further without this whole thing being like, remember? Remember, baby? So yeah, I only was able to watch 1 episode. So I'm taking this, and you guys should too, with a grain of salt. I'm sure as the episodes continue, Jake is probably a way better character. But I'm not ready for that growth yet. While I was rewatching this, I kind of, and I'm gonna say very light on that kind of, see where I was coming from in the days of yore having a crush on him. He's this cool skateboarding guy, and he's kind of cocky in the way that typical 13-year-olds are, and that was probably really attractive to 4-year-old me. I am sorry, I couldn't get that sentence straight out. I've been reading a script the entire time. Which is why I just keep awkwardly looking down, is I'm just reading a script. But I can't freehand anything. But, like, an entire video. So, but yeah, he was probably attracted to me in the typical, like, 13-year-old way of, like, oh, he's cocky and he can take care of himself. And but yeah, he's like, I feel like in my mindset, he was he's older than me, and he's cooler than me in my mind's eye mentality. And he's also just a little bit of a simp.
And just a hint of lust.
It also does help that Dante did voice him. But, and so, you know, memory, we all know that memories can be tampered with, essentially, over time. But I feel like when I was watching the Lilo and Stitch crossover episode, when Jake spoke, he was like had a way deeper voice than Jake does in the beginning of the series. And I know, like, he could have gotten older, but he was also 18 at the time of filming. So I say that with, like, a grain of salt. So it could have just been, like, my memories, like, a fragile thing. And every time Dante comes up on my For You page, I'm just like, that's how Jake Long sounds. Because Dante voices Jake Long. But...
Talking dog! Anybody seen Grandpa? I gotta tell him about freaky alien dude!
I have to, like, pull back my rose-colored, really cool dragon voiced by Dante glasses for a bit. Because during this rewatch, and really just watching this to go into younger Finn's, like, mind palace. Yes, I stole that from Sherlock. But yeah, like, watching this to go back into, like, the deeper crevices of my young mind, I just generally don't understand why I was into him. And this could be just, like, a symptom of growth, you know, like, I can't say therapy because I've never been to therapy, but, like, a symptom of growth, but I can't picture a younger me actually being into Jake without just boiling it down to he's a guy who is a dragon. Or, well, he gets to be a dragon. To just kind of, like, boil it down, we're gonna strip away the idea that he's an American dragon. We're gonna pretend that he's just a normal kid. If I had to, like, label what younger Finn was going through, I don't think it's, like, having a crush. I don't think it's love. I think it's attraction. I think it's essentially like this is probably not something that a lot of people have, but I'm gonna use this example. Allie, if you are watching this, I'm so sorry to talk about other people in that way. But but it's essentially like when you go to Disneyland and you find somebody attractive and you have that like brief thought of, oh my god, if I were with my family, maybe I'd go up and grab their number. Or like as a older sibling, not older sibling, uh your best friend's older sibling type of mentality of like, he's just so out of my limits and he's so cool and he's so nice that I think my brain was like, I have to like him because he's so cool and he's so nice. And and with that in mind, and just using the older guy at a skate park who I would have waved at and he would have waved back and I would have blushed type of rhetoric, and not just he's a fucking dragon. On the not a dweeb to full dweeb scale, I gotta give myself like a 7 out of 10 for this crush, because like in my mind's eye it makes sense, but it's also like it only makes sense because it's Dante. But and the reason why I say it only makes sense because it's Dante, I'm gonna like asterisk that and be like, it should have been Zuko. It should have been Zuko. Someone should show 2005 Finn Avatar with the band-aid on. Be like, this guy is voiced by Jake Long. And I would have spiraled. I still haven't thought of like an outro or how to end this video. And I'll probably think of one as the series goes on, but for now I just don't know what to say. But I do want to thank you for watching this, and I know it's like probably genuinely really messy for like a pilot episode of getting you to watch my channel. So I appreciate you making it to the end if you did. But any criticism other than please, for the love of God, girl, you gotta watch till the end of the series to make up your mind, is like genuinely appreciated, because I will be adding, like, as I go further on with my research, I will like watch more episodes of whatever the person that I'm reporting on. But for this one, I was just like, I genuinely can't watch more than one episode. But yeah, if you have any criticism, it would be deeply appreciated. And with that, I'll see you guys real soon.